Ever since the September 10th tragedy involving Charlie Kirk, law enforcement have been looking for him. They've been trying to find out who he was, and at first, we only had certain pictures of him walking up the stairs. Nobody actually knew who he was. But then we finally got word. Clip.
Your suspicion was that he was radical left, and now you have more information. What can you share with us about his ideology?
Yeah, Lawrence, let me just, and by the way, Lawrence is doing a good job. What's going on?
Fantastic job, yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, sir.
I said you were going to do well. Yeah, I think that I don't want to go too far. I'd like to tell you some stories at how it happened, but essentially somebody that was very close to him turned him in. And that happens when you had some of those good shots. Somebody is going to say, whether it's a parent or whatever, I'd rather not say right now. They're going to announce it today, sometime later, probably talk about that. But somebody close to him turned him, you know, they said, whoa. It's interesting where we had very good pictures, but not great, not perfect. And when you look at it, what happened is somebody, and this happens a lot. It happened with the crazy Boston bomber. It happened with others. Somebody that's close recognizes even a little tilt of the head, which nobody else would do.
Donald Trump came to Fox News and actually said, yes, he's in custody, and we believe that this is our guy. And once we found out who he was, it was a young man by the name of Tyler Robinson. Now, Tyler Robinson grew up in a rich family. He even got a full scholarship to this college. Now, guys, $32,000 may not seem like a lot of money, but it's enough money because for in-state students, the Utah State University, the fees are $4,390. So him being rich and coming from a family that has money, hey, that's nothing. That means the guy had to be smart, okay, to do that. And not only was he smart, but his father was a sheriff and they lived in a $600,000 house in Utah. So Tyler Robinson is from Utah. He's a Christian. And what else did we find out? Tyler Robinson is a conservative. Tyler Robinson was MAGA and even donated to Trump's campaign. I mean, there you go there. Look at him. Trump, Make America Great Again Committee, all right? They even gave donations to the president. His father, Matthew Robinson, and his mother, Amber Robinson, are a part of the Republican Party. They're a part of the Republican Party. Then, wait a minute. If he is a Republican and he is a Trump supporter, then how does he shoot Charlie Kirk?
Congratulations, you have been selected to receive the Resident Presidential Scholarship from Utah State University. The value of this scholarship is approximately $32,000. This scholarship is available for 4 years or 8 semesters. Congratulations, you have been selected to receive the Resident Presidential Scholarship from Utah State University. The value of this scholarship is approximately $32,000. This scholarship is available for 4 years or 8 semesters. Congratulations, you have been selected to receive the Resident Presidential Scholarship from Utah State University. The value of this scholarship is approximately $32,000. This scholarship is available for 4 years or 8 semesters. Congratulations, you have been selected to receive the Resident Presidential Scholarship from Utah State University. The value of this scholarship is approximately $32,000. This scholarship is available for 4 years or 8 semesters.
So now we're getting somewhere. So here's what happens, guys. You see, a lot of these same people, Charlie Kirk and some of the other Republicans and conservatives, Nick Fuentes, they all agree on black crime and certain stances involving the gay community and things like that, right? You know, migrant crisis. Those major issues are where they agree. Where they start to disagree is geopolitics, okay? Now, here's what I found out about Charlie Kirk. Number one, he's pro-Israel, okay? But also, Charlie Kirk was looked at by some people within the conservative movement as number one, being too moderate, okay? He wasn't as to the right as far as maybe like Nick Fuentes, something like that. And then he also was a person who supported Israel. They have that situation. A lot of people on the far right dislike Israel a lot. Then Charlie Kirk, here's a guy that's pushing Israel so hard, it's like you're a paid person from Israel, right? So now we can't trust you, okay? We can't really put our trust in you because, you know, you're over here, like I said, defending Israel when we believe that Israel is starving Gaza and they shouldn't be even occupying the place. And there you have Charlie Kirk defending Israel, okay? That's the next thing. But then also, he's a cultural grifter.
The bullet casings from Tyler Robinson, yeah, one of them says something about like hold this or catch this fascist, but the other ones are all alt-right online space lingo, right? Like one of the bullet casings has a reference to the game Helldivers 2. Another of the bullet casings says something like laugh my ass off if you're reading this, you're gay. These are all things that you find in like alt-right spaces. Not only that, but of course his parents were Republicans and he grew up in gun culture, so on and so forth. What this gives me the makings of is someone who was probably looking at Charlie Kirk.
So look at this, okay? Laura Loomer. And now Laura Loomer is basically then switched her side. She's kissing his butt now. I don't ever want to hear Charlie Kirk claim he's pro-Trump ever again. After this weekend, I'd say he has revealed himself as a political opportunist, and I have had a front row to witness the mental gymnastics these last 10 years. Lately, Charlie has decided to behave like a charlatan, claiming to be pro-Trump one day while he stabs Trump in the back the next. Turning Point USA, this is what Charlie Kirk founded, was only able to thrive thanks to the generosity of President Trump. On the 1-year anniversary of the assassination attempt on Trump's life, Charlie hosted comic Dave Smith at Turning Point's USA SAS conference, where Dave Smith was able to speak to a bunch of conservative youth at an organization that claims to be Trump. 3 weeks ago, Dave Smith called for President Trump to be impeached and removed from office over his decision to blow up Iran's nuclear facilities. Charlie played both sides of the Iran issue on his show, as we all saw, because he wants to play both sides of the aisle. The honorable thing to do is to have a position and actually defend it to death instead of flip-flopping. But now, even Laura Loomer is on Twitter basically praising Charlie Kirk, right? Like, same thing with Nick Fuentes, Myron. All of these guys had a little bit of an issue with him, okay? And now they're butt kissing him like no tomorrow, all right? Like no tomorrow. And then the governor of Utah, this is important. Look at what he said.
You know, this bad stuff happens. For 33 hours, I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I hoped for. Just because I thought it would make it easier on us if we could just say, hey, we don't do that here. And indeed, Utah is a special place. We lead the nation in charitable giving. We lead the nation in service every year. But it did happen here.
Governor of Utah did not want to even consider the fact that somebody from his state, because Utah is very religious, either you're Mormon or Christian, Republican, wealthy. These things don't happen in Utah. But what the whites don't want to talk about is their internal problems that they are having in the party that doesn't have anything to do with the blacks. These conservatives like Charlie Kirk and Nick Fuentes, they want to come out and bash blacks because it gets good ratings. People are looked at as being brave, but the people who killed Charlie Kirk were within his camp, and that's something that can't be denied. And so now they want to even come and turn up on blacks after a lot of conservatives understand that if Charlie Kirk was still living, Laura Loomer wouldn't like him. She's a grifter. Nick Fuentes wouldn't like him. Everybody wouldn't like him, okay? And the reason why is because Charlie Kirk, number one, he had an enormous amount of fame within the conservative right, but also he was looked at as a person that was grifting. So, and then look at the bullet shell casings the guy was talking about. These are things associated with Groypers or the real alt-right following of Nick Fuentes. So basically, Charlie Kirk was shot because he wasn't keeping it real enough, according to certain people. And now you're talking about blacks? Like, these are the same problems Democrats have too. But now on the right, they're starting to do it to their own. So what does the blacks have to do with this? That's my whole point. See, the thing is, white people want to blame, a lot of white conservatives want to blame blacks for the problems of the country or violence in the country. But we don't want to start talking about these school shootings, do we? Do we? The Colorado shooting that just happened? Like, what color are they? And then who killed Charlie Kirk? Yes, people are dying over ideas amongst white conservatives. That's what you don't want to talk about, okay? Charlie Kirk didn't die from black gang violence. Charlie Kirk died over ideas of not being so extreme. And so what happens is these guys like Nick Fuentes, these guys on the alt-right, they're influencing guys to become more alt-right. And when Nick Fuentes comes out and criticizes Charlie for not being as right as him or being a flip-flopper, then they're following like, you know what, that's right. He should pay for that. And then that happens. Now Nick Fuentes don't want to get out in front of it. Why you don't want to get out in front of it, bro? No. You don't want to blame your following for it? Because the bullet casings have everything about you on it. You can't say he's on the left. He's a registered Republican. His family is a registered Republican. All of that is true. They're from Utah. So he agreed with most of what Charlie Kirk probably was saying, but not everything. And because not everything, he's looked at as a traitor. That is exactly what happened. Guys, what do you think? It's your boy Oshay Jackson. Back at it again. Another episode of The Celebrity Drunk. Appreciate you for all you do, Scrub, y'all. We're out.